This week, I continue exploring Kinyonga Reptile Centre, where I learn about a unique species endemic to only a tiny part of South Africa. Plus, I try to convince an arachnophobe to overcome her fear, with hilarious results. So I'm here with Chris, and he's the curator of the centre, and we have a golden
brown baboon spider.
A golden brown baboon spider. Now this one's actually quite unique or the species is. Can you tell me a bit more about it? What's so special about these guys?
Well, what makes these guys so very interesting is the fact that they have got a very small distribution. Woodspray being a place developing now, you know, there's a lot of new buildings, schools and things that are being built and so, and what's very interesting about the spider is the fact that it digs a hole for about 7 years, okay?
Wow.
And that 7 years, digging this hole means that these guys don't go into new holes very easily.
Okay.
They can't be relocated with a lot of success.
Right.
So for the last few years, we've been trying to understand where they create their burrows, why and when they do it, you know, in order to increase our understanding of them, to get them to
So
move.
is that quite unique among baboon spiders or tarantula in general, in that they're quite specific about their burrows, or is it really that unique to this species?
It's more unique to this species. You would get some other specialist spiders.
Right.
In most cases, the animals are sort of active at night. So during the day, they would be in their burrows, and then after that, they're going to basically come out and forage. But these guys, you can see them sitting there nicely now.
Yeah, no.
These guys, also come out at night and forage.
Okay.
So they're active hunters.
And very active right now. So we're assuming that this one is a female just because of the size. It's quite a decent size, whereas the males are usually a little bit smaller.
Yeah, males would be smaller and also not as long lived. This female is
Right.
anything between 15 and 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So you can imagine what these little spider eyes have seen. What they were thinking while they were seeing it, I don't know.
And you can see on the back, what is this here at the back here?
Those little structures there at the back are called spinnerets. Okay, so that's what the spider uses to manipulate the silk with.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they actually silk line their burrows, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, you just slip my hand in
He's
here.
going to head for the cleavage. Lucky it's a girl.
Yeah.
So about 150-200 kilometre radius from where we are right now, which is Hoedspruit in South Africa. And so that actually makes it quite unique in that it's endemic only to such a small area.
Yeah.
What's the conservation status of them? Are they vulnerable or endangered, or it's uncertain?
I would say at the moment data deficient.
Yeah.
Okay. There's not a lot of people really looking into this, although there's been some papers published on you know, how they've created their burrows and how successful relocation is.
Yeah,
But
which is tricky.
It's tricky. Mainly because of the fact that you're difficult to find, although in the areas where they're common, they're quite common. Yeah.
Okay. And so they like sandy, is there sandy ground, this kind of thing, which is quite popular for where people are going to develop houses and that kind of thing. So that's where the encroachment on their particular habitat is really threatening them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I mean, the temperament is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's
They're
a
really gorgeous.
wonderful spider. This compared to the other baboon spiders in this area, you would not be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, they have a bit of a reputation, the baboon spiders, of being a bit short-tempered. But in saying that, I have held a few horned baboon spiders, and they were actually quite fine.
Okay.
So, but no, she's very chilled out. Awesome. Oh, she's lovely and a bit of silk there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure.
So we have a bit of a special for you. I have an Australian friend visiting at the moment. Julia Wheeler is another fantastic photographer, and she has a bit of a phobia of spiders. That could be an understatement. So what we thought we'd do today is see if we can get her on camera to try and conquer that fear. And what better way than with a large spider, but also with one that has such a great temperament. So we might try and see if we can coax Julia onto camera and capture the whole thing. So we've got Julia, we've convinced her to come on to camera. We have the spider, we have Chris.
Hold it that way, like there.
So, I mean, you know, we're making a lot of fun of it, but the reality is there are a lot of people that have a fear of spiders. And I mean, especially, you know, when you look at one this size, I mean, you can see how docile it was, and that's fine, but obviously it's an inbuilt fear. So, you know, logic kind of goes out the window. So definitely understand, you know, where you're coming from, and it's a big step to do it. So we're just kind of, like gradually progress. So we'll get it out. And maybe if we hand it to...
spot.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. So maybe put your hands out
no sudden
like
movements.
this.
No, I just look at it there.
But put your hands out
like that's
first.
No. Okay, maybe. Okay.
But you did see she was quite chilled. But you just need to be able to support her. So
That's
if she's going to
great.
keep walking, you've got to
I'm
have
worried about
something.
supporting myself. Did that just jump?
No, just a little hop.
Okay, don't put it near me right now. I just want to watch it. Over there, like that way.
Okay, I'll give it. Side.
So you can just... Basically, you just need
Okay,
to be...
don't put it near me. Like,
You just need to be a platform.
okay, yeah.
But make sure...
No.
Do you want it on your leg, maybe?
No, I don't want it
Okay.
on my leg.
If you put your hands out like this,
Yeah. Put it over that way a bit more.
Okay.
flatten your hands, then we can put our
I
hands.
just want to watch it for a
Okay.
minute.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So
That thing has a face.
So not going as smoothly as hoped.
Oh my god.
She's totally friendly.
Yeah, like, that's like a small dog. It's give it over that way, like. Oh my god.
You're trying to go in all the tricky spots, aren't you?
Maybe I should close my eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay, but keep it over
you
there.
got to put your hands out, like you got to support her and not drop her.
Okay.
But come back down, just in case you do, so she doesn't fall too far. I mean, she does hold on a little bit, but no. You're very inquisitive. Oh my god.
Okay. Just stretch hands straight out. What we'll do is put our hands in your hands and just open up. So then the spider can be removed immediately
Can you
again.
grab the spider?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, you can just
Yeah,
hold the
and
hands
we
out.
can be right there too. So maybe just
Maybe I'll close my eyes.
and just keep your hands there, and then she can walk across.
Okay, but I don't. But like only walking across. I don't want it crawling up.
And no.
Okay.
She seems to be sort of going back and forth across her hands.
If you can go
So
come
maybe
down
come
a little
down a
bit
bit.
first. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. So
And maybe just support your hands on your legs.
okay, I'll
there,
close
'cause then
my
you can
eyes,
just-
and then you can let it crawl across.
Yeah. And just
Why did it do that?
because his finger was stuck there. Yeah.
Okay.
No. No, don't put it in that. It's too close. I'm just watching it. No.
I'm not doing
At
anything.
some
You're
point,
getting close.
you gotta bite the bullet.
I
and just do
know,
it.
but
It's not gonna
I'm
bite you. I promise.
It's not that it's gonna bite me. It's just a big spider,
Yeah.
and it's crawling, and it's got a
She's quite
face. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm actually really scared.
Can you try hands closed? Maybe across your leg.
No. Don't know if I can. It's actually really. I don't know.
Oh, she's happy there. Look, she's just like chilled.
Just softly feel it.
You put my finger on.
Fluffy. That's good progress.
What's that tip at the end? See that?
That's spinnerates that she uses to spin with.
Okay.
This,
Okay, so you were just softly feeling the spider. I mean, it was not
she's
really.
very chilled.
Yeah.
I'm patting a spider that is the size of a small dog.
it's just moving again.
Should I close my eyes?
Well, if you close them, you're not going to see how you're holding the spider.
I know, but just to like get the feel of it.
Okay.
It's very soft actually, except for the obviously the little
Just
hooks that it holds
put
on.
your hand out.
Maybe
And
if I put my hand.
okay. Just
in
do
your
like a
hand.
mini one, so you can just feel what it feels like. See?
Okay.
So we got a little bit there. Oh, honey, yeah, so active.
Okay, but you keep your hand with me.
Okay.
She's like, this is an endless treadmill.
Can't see like, okay.
But don't open your hand.
You're looking for a little hole too.
Okay, but keep your hand near mine. Just like keep your hand near mine. But keep your hand near mine.
Yeah, no, I will.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You're doing well.
That was very
Okay.
good. Okay, so do a full hand.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. That was totally on you.
Well done.
That was great.
Okay, now onto your hand. Oh my
There you
god,
go.
oh my god.
Very nice.
Just want it to curl across. Keep your hand near mine. Just so it curls across like onto yours.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to try like this.
Okay, but I don't want it to curl up my arm, so if it
Okay,
starts to curl up my
I'll
arm.
immediately stop that if it happens.
Look, that's awesome. That's okay. I'll just block her. Yep.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Took like 6 or so minutes. So.
And look, it's so chilled.
Yeah.
It's like, finally,
Oh
I
my
found a
God.
home. That is brilliant.
Well
Well
Oh
done.
my god. Someone needs to take a photo of this.
Many people have phobias. I'd love to know what you're afraid of. Comment below. So now I'm out in the field and Chris has brought along some volunteers and we're going to look for the golden brown baboon spider in its natural habitat. I'm actually on a wildlife estate and this is where people live. So we're at a construction site and we're going to see if we can rescue some of the spiders before they're built on and it's too late. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Join me next week, and in the meantime, make sure you head over to shannonwild.com and check out the blog where I have more photos from this week's episode.